Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Iqra Arshad and today's video, it's been uploaded a day late, so I apologise for that. Normally I like to upload on Wednesdays on this channel. Obviously I haven't uploaded for a few weeks, but you guys know why. I've been at uni, but I'm done with uni and I wanted to upload this on a Wednesday, but instead it's been uploaded on Thursday, so I hope you guys don't mind too much. On this weekend, when this video goes up on the weekend, on Saturday the 23rd, I shall be 21 years old. So that's a bit crazy. So I thought for this video I will talk about the 21 lessons I have learnt in my 21 years of life, even though I'm not 21 yet. I thought it'd be a good video to do. I've seen other people do that in the past and it just looks like a fun video to do it, and also a fun video to like for reflection and stuff, so why not? So I'm going to start. If I occasionally look down, I'm looking at my list of life lessons so I don't forget any of them. So yeah, so the first one, number one, is not everyone will like you and that's okay. So sometimes in life we feel like we have to have everyone like us, we have to be mega popular, we have to, you know, get validation from people, and that's not, you don't need that. We don't need that in life. And obviously sometimes when you're going through certain stages in life, so sometimes like, I don't know, like when I think about myself, secondary school, like I had this certain like urge for people to like me, and now that I'm a bit older it's like, well, you don't need people to like you. It's okay if they don't like you, that's their problem if they don't like you. And yeah, so number two is failure is important, you learn from it. So failure is very important in life. People would say, oh, they don't want to fail, they don't want to like do badly at things, but if anything, failure is important, because you learn from failure, you learn from your mistakes that you've made. When I'm talking about failure, it can be any level of failure, but for myself, talking about academic failure for me mostly, there's been times when I've done really badly in exams, done really badly in A-levels and stuff, and yes, it was a really bad moment at the time. However, over time I've learned from that failure, so thus it being a good thing. And some people forget that failure is a good thing, but yeah, it is. So number three is change is good. So people seem to think that change is a bad thing. Oh, you're changing, you've changed as a person kind of thing, but change is a good thing. Everything around you is always changing. The world is changing at such a rapid pace at the society we live in today. People changing around you isn't a bad thing. People grow, we grow through our experiences, we go through the years in general. You grow through your failures, linking back to the last one. So yeah, so if you lose friends throughout that failure, that's okay. Throughout that change, that's okay, because you know, people around you are changing just as you are changing, they're changing through. So you know, the change from school to like secondary to college to university, from there even to the working life, it's people are constantly changing, the way their thought processes work, the way they look at the world and stuff. So naturally you're changing too, and obviously that means your connections with people will change too, and that's fine. There's no problem in that at all. And I've learned over the years to acknowledge that. At the beginning I used to hate that. I used to think, oh my god, everyone's changing, and oh my god, I'm gonna lose people and stuff, and you know what, it's scary, I will admit, but at the same time over the years I've learned to acknowledge that, you know, it's part of human nature, it's going to happen at some point or another. So number four is having 2 to 3 friends is fine. It's okay to have a small circle of friends. Now, I've always been one to have like smaller circles, but the kind of small circle that I have now is a lot smaller than I used to have, and it's a lot smaller than what I ever would have imagined myself having. When I was in school, at least, I wouldn't have imagined my circle to be this small. It's okay to have like a close 2, 3, 4 friends. It's okay if you only have one best friend, that's fine. You don't need so many people, and eventually over time, like I said, like with change and stuff, you slowly realise the people who, you know, you connect with and who you know, can relate with on a personal level, on terms of how your thinking goes, you know, like all that. Like when you're adults, there's a different level to friendship, and you slowly realise who is worth being a friend and who isn't. And at the end of the day, if people stop being your friend, you know, that's their loss kind of thing. So having a small amount of friends isn't a major deal. If anything, it's part of adult nature to have small amount of friends, people you can really confide in, people you can really like trust and stuff. And over time that's something I have definitely learned, and it's not something that's bad. It's actually something I like, because I'm not a social person in general, so it's kind of easier for me, if anything, to have a small circle of friends, because I find it easier to communicate with them. So yeah, number 5 is you can be anything you want to be. This one's a bit vague, so I broke it down a little bit. I wrote you can be a writer, you can be an artist, you can be a doctor. If there's anything you want to be in terms of adulting, in terms of your career, in terms of your like educational choices, you can do that. At the end of the day, this is your life. It's your choice who wants to do it. If you want to do what you want to do. In the beginning, I wanted to be a teacher, and you know what, I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna be a teacher, and that's fine, I love it. Then over time I realised I didn't want to be a teacher, and that's fine to change and go back on what you wanted to be. And now I'd rather be in the creative world, in terms of like the creative sector of the working business, working life. I want to be a writer, I want to be in social media, I want to be in content creating, writing blog posts, all that kind of stuff, kind of the stuff that I do now. I really enjoy this, and that's what I want to do, and I'm going to continue doing it and continue working hard for that. So yeah, you can really, whatever you want to do is what you can be. There's so many things in that world now, in our society. We're blessed that if you want to be like a writer, you can go do a creative writing degree. If you want to be an artist, you can go do a fine arts degree. If you want to be a fashion designer, there's fashion courses and fashion degrees you can go do. If you want to be a filmmaker, you can go do a film degree. You know, there's so many things we can do. Even if you don't want to do a degree, you can go ahead and do courses. You can go straight into the workforce, go into internships, into apprenticeships. There's so much out there for you to be able to achieve what you want to achieve. And I guess in like our ever-growing technological world that we're in now, we should learn to like take that and like, you know, not basically should grab those opportunities and really take them, because we have them, and in past generations they wouldn't have had opportunities to be what they want to be, truly, like what their heart desires. So yeah, we should definitely take advantage of that. Number 6 is, life is not a race. Everyone grows at their own speed, and everyone is living life at their own speed. Just because someone's ahead of you already, in terms of skills, in terms of employment, in terms of education, in terms of, you know, general, like how they are as a person, doesn't mean they're any better than you. They've just gone at their speed of life, and you're going at your speed. For instance, if I think about myself, many of my friends have been working for many years, some of them for like since they were 15, 16. And there's me, who's never really worked a day in my life, and I used to think, especially when I first started university, I used to think, oh, like I really need to do this, I really need to get a job, I really need to be like my friends, like what if I fall behind in my skills and stuff. And if anything, it's okay because I've worked at my own speed, and if anything, it's worked out better for me, being able to fully dedicate myself to my education without having to worry about, you know, working as well. And obviously it's gonna be harder in the long run once I graduate. However, I'm going to, you know, work as hard as I have to get to where I need to be, and you know, a job can wait until I graduate, kind of thing. And I obviously have gone up my speed, and you know, some people are ahead of you, some people are behind you, some people are at the same speed as you, and that's okay. You don't have to feel like you're falling behind, anyone's better than you or anything, because you know, that's just the way life works, really. There'll always be people who are ahead of you, or you know, better than you, and you can't really change that. So number 7 is, you can't please everyone in life. So this is something that I used to be really bad at. I used to be a right people pleaser. I used to like make everyone happy, try and, you know, be like everyone's best friend. Like I said before, I wanted to make everyone happy, make sure everyone's feeling good about themselves and stuff. And the truth is, you can't make everyone please everyone. The only person you should be trying to please is yourself. That's the only person you should be trying to please in life, yourself. As long as you are happy, you are content with what you're doing and where your aim is and where you're getting to, that is fine. No one else matters in that situation. So for me, for instance, I would try to do go down the science route with education, and not in any way did my parents force me to do it, but for me I was just like, oh, maybe it'll make my parents feel better if I do something more sciencey. Now they never really cared, if I'm being honest, and I found out afterwards, after talking to them, that they didn't really care what I did. I'm blessed to have parents that didn't care what I did in terms of education. They didn't force me to be a doctor or anything like that. However, I just thought, oh, maybe it'll make them feel better if I try and go down something science. And I did a biology A-level, and I completely flopped it, and it was a waste of an entire year that I could have been doing something else and learning a new skill. If anything, I didn't really learn anything from that failure. Like, that's one failure I don't think I learned a lot from. Well, actually, I learned one thing from that failure, which was that I could have been doing other things with my time instead of trying to please other people. So yeah, you don't really need to please anyone else. Like, the person who matters the most is you, and as long as you're pleasing yourself, you know, you're doing something right in life. Number 8. You can be your own best friend. So this is something that I've kind of known for a long time, but it's something that I would like to think that, oh no, it's okay, like I don't need to do that. But you can learn to be your own best friend. You can learn how to survive by yourself, how to, you know, live with just like communicating with yourself. You should really, like, over time you should really learn how your body works, how your mind works, how you work, kind of thing, things like that. And even just like spending a bit of time with yourself, you know, just to like sit, read, watch Netflix, that's you being your own best friend. You can sit by yourself and eat outside alone, you can go shopping alone, you can do all of that alone, as long as you can learn how to be your best friend. You don't need people to kind of be friends for you. You can like what's the word, you don't need people to create happiness for you, when you can create the happiness yourself, if that makes sense. And I actually love being my own best friend. I often say that, oh, I'm such an antisocial person, I don't communicate with people, when in reality I just mean I like spending time with myself, because I like being my own best friend. I like spending time with myself and doing things by myself, and it's just the way I am, and I can't change that by myself. In the past I used to really try and change that and really force myself into situations that weren't great, and obviously it's good to put yourself into situations to learn new things. However, I was putting myself in really uncomfortable situations where I couldn't like do well in. It was going to be a flop either way kind of thing. And over time I've just learned that it's okay to want to be my own best friend, and it's okay to want to spend time with myself. And the people who are truly your friends and truly people who care about you and love you, people in your life like your family and friends, will understand that, because I'm like that. And yeah, my friends, I'm grateful to have friends to actually understand that, grateful to have family members who understand that. So yeah, you can be your own best friend. It's something you learn over time, as like I said, unless you're naturally born with it, I guess. But yeah, number 9. Silence is important. Now, I say this quite a lot, that silence is important, in the sense that you need to learn, like, it relates to the last point in the sense that silence is important. You don't need to be talking to anyone, like that kind of silence. But the kind of silence I want to focus on for this video is the fact that when you don't have anything nice to say, you shouldn't say anything at all. Now, this is something I learned from my mother, and it's always stuck with me, and I like to think a lot of people have learned this from their parents growing up, but sometimes the best way to respond is with silence. Sometimes if you don't have something constructive to say, the best thing to say is nothing at all. Obviously this depends on situation to situation, but sometimes I just feel like if I don't have anything that will contribute to this discussion or just contribute to this idea, why should I even say anything at all? So that's how I feel about that. But obviously it varies on like situation and all that, but in general, that's how I feel. Number 10, feminism is not a dirty word. I was always so afraid to talk about feminism, to say, oh, I'm a feminist, or things like that. That's why I used to like justify myself, be like, oh, I'm a feminist, but don't worry, I don't hate men, like I love everyone kind of thing. And I don't know why I did that. I felt the need to justify myself, because feminism isn't a dirty word. It's obviously something that over time has kind of derailed itself, derailed the original purpose. But you know, I just believe in equal rights for men and women. I believe that, you know, both men and women are important. You know, we all have our own rights and we should be having those rights. I don't see what's difficult about that, if that makes sense. So yeah, I just wanted to put that in, because I know there might be many people out there who think they believe in feminism, but then they're just like, I don't know, because I don't hate men. Yeah, feminism isn't about men hating kind of thing, and you don't have to justify yourself by saying I'm a feminist but I don't hate men, because that doesn't make sense. You don't need to be justifying yourself when it is a bad thing to be a feminist, or feminism in general isn't a bad thing. The movement itself has, like I said, derailed from the original purpose, and that's just the way society works. You've just got to find your ground in it, your opinion in it, and stick with that without being misled and stuff. That's how I feel. That's how I feel about that. Number 11 is, it's okay if you're bad at cooking, because I'm bad at cooking, and I wrote, it's something that you will get better at, because it truly is something you will get better at. I've always like hated cooking and stuff. I don't know what it is about cooking. I'm one of those people, if I was ever living alone, so if I, for instance, I moved away for uni, or in the future if I'm living alone, I feel like I always just think I'll be one of those people who will just cook for the sake of cooking. And even now I kind of think that I will cook for the sake of cooking because I have to eat kind of thing, but I don't actually enjoy cooking at all. I don't enjoy the process, I don't find joy in it, I don't like it kind of thing. However, I have got better at it, and that's a good thing, because you kind of need to survive, so you need to eat. And it's not great to always buy takeout and go out and eat and stuff like that, because that's not economical at all, and that's gonna waste a lot of money that could be spent just by cooking at home. So yeah, I just feel like I've gotten better at it. I don't cook still as often as I would want to, but I do cook a lot more than I used to, and I feel better when I'm doing it, in the sense that I feel like I'm getting better at cooking, so it makes me feel good that I'm getting better at something that is a very important life skill. Number 12, you don't have to be best friends with everyone. So earlier I was saying that, you know, not everyone will like you and stuff, but it's okay if you don't like everyone too. It's okay if you don't want to be best friends with people. There's certain situations where you don't want to be friends with someone, you just want to get on with what your task is. And in this sense, I wrote, it's okay to have some people in your life who are just acquaintances, if that makes sense. And I want to explain this more before anyone misunderstands this, but for instance, for me, I feel like once I start working, I don't want to be friends with people just for the sake of oh, I'm working with them. I don't feel the need to do that as a person. That person's a colleague and they're a colleague kind of thing. It doesn't need to go further than that. It's really, I don't need to be best friends with people I work with. I don't need to be best friends with people I'm in university with. You know, they're my fellow colleagues sitting in lecture halls and stuff. I don't need to be best friends with them. I can learn from them, we can learn together, but we don't need to be best friends. And that's how I see it. You don't need to be best friends with everyone in life. You don't need to be friends standard with anyone in life. You can choose who you want to be friends with, kind of thing. Number 13. Sometimes in life you have to work with people you don't like, and you just have to be an adult about it and get on with it. Otherwise you are gonna not survive in the world outside of your own bubble. I realised that in university after doing some projects, group projects, that they weren't very great. However, working on those projects made me build resilience, made me build up patience, and made me build up just having a good working like ethic. Because when you get in the future and you're in the working world, I'm sorry babe, you're gonna have to work with people you don't like. And when I'm saying I'm sorry babe, I'm saying that to my inner self. Just like, I'm sorry Iqra, you're just gonna have to work with people you don't like, and you have to do it because, you know, in the working world your boss isn't gonna be like, oh, it's okay, you don't have to work with that person if you don't like them, I'll put you on another team or something. They won't do that kind of thing. You have to learn to like work with them even if you don't like, you can just ignore them, it's fine. You can work with them while ignoring their personality. You can just treat them like another work colleague. It's, you know, so you just gotta learn to work with that person whether you like them or not. It's just something we have to do in life, I feel like, and it's just something, it's better to learn now than later in life, I feel like. Saving is more important than spending. I've learned a lot about saving money because of student finance. When I first got student finance in my first year, that was the first time I'd seen such a lump sum of money, and I got very excited and very carried away. I bought a shit ton of makeup that I don't use now. I bought a lot of stuff and that I didn't need, and yeah, over that course of time I've learned that it's way more important to save money, because in the end, if you keep spending money, how are you gonna have money to spend in the end? Like, you could run out of money at any point. And also saving is important for the future. I feel like it's given me skills to know how to save in the future, because when I don't know, want to buy a house and stuff, I can learn to save up for a house. I'll know how to do it effectively, and you know, things like that. It's just, I feel like personally for me, this is a personal thing, I feel like saving is important. I don't feel the need to spend money on things that aren't needed when I could be saving that money for other things. Number 15. No one cares if you are looking your worst, meaning like not wearing makeup, you feel like you're breaking out and stuff, because like, when I say no one, I mean like strangers around you kind of thing. Like, you're walking about and you think people are looking at you because you look ugly or something, when in fact they probably haven't seen you at your best anyway, so they wouldn't know that you're at your worst right then, if that makes sense. They don't really care. They're probably just like walking around and you, they glance, they see someone, they're like, oh look, someone, and they just go about their day kind of thing. I used to really care what people thought about me without makeup and stuff like that, and yeah, that's gone out the window. I don't really care, because whatever, they're gonna think what they're gonna think, and most likely they'll be strangers that you'll never see again anyway. So embrace your flaws. So for me, my flaws used to be my nose and my height, because I'm quite tall. I used to be picked on for my height quite a lot, called the classics, lamppost, lanky, what's the weather like up there, and all that. So yeah, I've learned to just, you know, embrace that, because I mean, my nose is unique in a way, in the sense that it's my nose. No one else has this nose or something similar to this nose. My height is, it's kind of like helpful for me, if that makes sense. I'm trying to think of a better word, but never mind. It's kind of helps me in things like I can reach shelves that other people can't reach. I can walk a longer distance with my legs, like stretch out more. I take like longer strides and stuff. So yeah, and also I just like being tall now, because it's a nice feeling being tall. So yeah. Number 17, make time for yourself. So I said earlier on that you can be your own best friend, but you should also like make time for yourself, in the sense that, like, you know, self-love, learning how to love yourself and stuff, and like make time for yourself to, like, you know, take a bath, do skincare, you know, through your makeup routine, through like, you know, doing face masks, stuff like that, like, or even something as small as just like, you know, making yourself a nice hot meal, sitting in front of the TV and watching your favorite episode of something kind of thing. That's, you know, making time for yourself to spend time with yourself. Number 18 is don't let people run all over you. This is something I used to do massively when I was younger. I was a massive pushover. I used to just like fall for people and just be like, oh, okay, I'll do that. Yeah, it's okay, I'll do it, kind of thing. And no, you need to stand your ground. You don't have to be afraid to speak up. As long as you're respectful, I don't see the problem in you speaking up. And yeah, you shouldn't let people run over you, because if you keep doing that, your rest of your life will be like that. I was like that for many years, and I'm so grateful that I'm not anymore. Don't know what happened, but I ended up not being like that, so I'm kind of glad that I'm not now. I can't help you guys in the sense of how I overcame it, because I just naturally did. I don't know if it was just through growth and through growing up or what, I don't know. But yeah. Number 19. Words mean more than what you think. Words are a powerful tool. They're a very powerful tool. As they say, the pen is mightier than the sword. That phrase, I always think of that all the time. And in that sense, the mouth, I feel like, is mighty. It's strong. Words are powerful. They can do a lot for a person in a good way, but also in a bad way. So you should always be nice to people that you're meeting, because you never really know what they're going through and what they're thinking. I try my hardest to be, you know, courteous and polite to people I'm meeting for the first time, and even like people who I'm around all the time, because you never really know what they're going through in that day and stuff. And yeah, it pays off to be nice to people, okay? Karma, good karma, it'll come back for you, and you know, the universe will be kind to you as well. Number 20. Often if people don't love themselves enough, it projects onto other people. So for me, for instance, I used to think about the people who used to bully me, or like when I was younger and in school and stuff, and you know, how they may regret it in the future and learn from it, and how retaliating to them is not good. Being mean to them back is only you being as bad as they are, kind of thing. And over time, those people will learn to, like, you know, how to be a better person. And you know, I've seen people in the since then, and they like seem to have learned from mistakes that they made when they were younger. So you know, the universe will help you out. You know, they'll get what's coming to them, and also they'll learn from what they've done, hopefully, if they're good people. There's no need for you to fight fire with fire, as they would say. There's no need for you to retaliate, because it doesn't do anything good when you retaliate. Like, I used to swear back at people, you know, try and be mean back and try and belittle people back, but it's, yeah, not good. You shouldn't do that. And the last one is 21, and it's kind of related to the last number 20, but it's okay to forgive people. It doesn't make you any less of a person. So I'm at that point in life where I'm just like, you know what, I don't really care what happened like 7-8 years ago when I was in school or whatever. Well, it's not 5-6 years ago when I was in school and stuff. I've learnt to like forgive people and like just be like, okay, well, that's happened, we were children, you know, it's over, kind of thing. I don't hold any grudges against that person anymore, or people, and stuff, just stuff like that. And you know, it's actually quite less burdening to forgive people. It's like burdens are lifted off you when you forgive people, and it's a really good, you know, kind of a skill to have to forgive people. So yeah, I think that is all. That is my last one, number 21. So I'm gonna leave you guys with that. I'm turning 21 this weekend, and it's crazy. This year has been a pretty good year, but yeah, that is all, I guess. I hope this video is somewhat helpful to some people, and I guess I shall catch you guys in my next one, which I have no idea what it is or when it's coming up. But yeah, bye guys.